Welcome to Module 2, Lesson 7. In today's lesson, we're going to connect area models and the distributive property to partial products of the standard algorithm with renaming. Okay, let's start with 524 times 136. I can use an area model to help me solve this. Now, looking at this equation, I know that this is now moved on from what we've previously been doing because now I'm multiplying a 3-digit number by another 3-digit number. So let's go ahead and figure out how we would do this with an area model. If I have 524 groups of 136, I can first break up my 524 into 520 and 4. So now you see that I'm having 3 separate groups, and I will be multiplying that with 130 and 6. So I will also need 3 rows to complete my area model. And now I can go ahead and multiply. So I'm going to go back to what we know about multiplication. 5 times 1 is 5, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros to add. So that gives me 50,000. 5 times 3 is 15, with 1, 2, 3 zeros to add. There's 15,000. 5 times 6 is 30, and that gives me 1, 2 zeros to add after my 30. See how we continue to build onto the skill that we have learned in previous lessons of Module 2? I am multiplying my basic fact and adding those zeros. Now let's move across. 20 times 100. 2 times 1 is 2, and I have 3 zeros. 20 times 30, my basic fact is 2 times 3 is 6, and I'm going to add on those 2 zeros. 20 times 6, 2 times 6 is 12, and I have 1 zero to add on. And now into my last column. 4 times 100 is going to be 400. 4 times 30 is going to be 120. And 4 times 6 is 24. So now I can go ahead and add up my rows, and then I can add up to find what the total product is going to be with all of these partial products that I have found. So if I'm going to go along this row right here, I can very quickly and easily see that I have 52,400. I can quickly see here that I have 15,720. And in my last row, I can quickly see that I have 3,144. And then I can go ahead and add those up to find out what my total product is going to be from all of my partial products. When I add that up, I find out that I have 71,264. So the answer to my original equation is 71,264. So you can see how I've used my area model here to break up 2 larger factors. And then I did the same thing that we have done in previous lessons. I have used my strategy of finding my basic fact and then adding on my zeros. And then I have added up all of my partial products to find the product for my original equation. I can also connect this to the standard algorithm. I have now lined these up as I would for multiplying with the standard algorithm. And I will go ahead and start over here in my ones place. 6 times 4 is 24, so I bring up the 2. Now I multiply across to my tens place. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 2 more is 14. I bring up my 1. And then I go to my hundreds place. So 6 times 5 is 30, plus that 1 is going to be 31. And now I can see where this 3,144 ties in to what I did with my partial products. So now that I'm going over to the 3 down here in my tens place, I need to put a 0 to hold my ones place because I'm now multiplying with my tens place. So my 3 times 4 is 12. Put down my 2 and I bring up my 1. My 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 3 times 5 is 15. There's my 15,720. And again, it goes right up here to my area model. And now I'm going to put down 2 placeholders as I multiply with my hundreds place. So I'm going to hold my ones, tens, and now I am working with the hundreds place. So I will now go 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 2 is 2, and 1 times 5 is 5. So there is a 52,400. And again, you can see the relationship just like we did with our partial products. So here's the standard algorithm. We're matching it to our partial products. And then my last step would be to just add those up. And then I would go ahead and get the same answer as I did above. 71,264.